Hi everyone, and welcome to this video tutorial. In this clip, we're going to be doing Lab 13, Task 3, which is renaming a virtual machine. Now, it couldn't be easier to rename a virtual machine, but I want to take a minute here and point out how this can cause us some long-term administrative headaches if we just go off and start renaming virtual machines. So here's my VM that we're going to change the name on, hotclone01. Before we do that though, I'm going to switch over into looking at storage, and I'm going to look at local ESXi1, which is where hotclone1 is currently stored. And if we look at the folders that are on this data store, we'll see here is hotclone1 exactly the way you would expect to find it. Now let's go and actually do the rename. So I'm going to switch back over here into VMs and templates view. I'm going to right-click on hotclone1. I'm going to select rename from the available functions, and I'm going to call this gym01-4 as per what's in your lab book. We'll see that the rename operation is executing. It's now done. Here is gym01-4. So the VM now has a different name. I'm going to go back over here onto the storage where we see ESXi1 and as far as the data store is concerned. And if we look at the name of the folder that contains the VM's files, it's still hotclone01. So this can make things a little bit difficult if we happen to be looking on the data store to try and find the folder and the files that are related to some virtual machine. There's now a disconnect between the name of the folder and the associated files on the data store with the actual name of the VM, as we can see over here is gym1-4. So if you need to do a rename, that's fine, that happens sometimes, but you're far better off to make sure the name that you need is the one that you set in the beginning. And if you happen to be creating a new virtual machine and you mess up the name and you haven't really installed anything on it yet, highly recommend go back and actually change that. Just kill the virtual machine and recreate it before you've actually installed the guest OS and configured it, because you're going to be a lot better off later on. There's other ways that we can fix this. We can actually migrate, as we're going to see later on, a virtual machine from one data store to another. If you do that, then it will change the name at that time. But that also is not something we're going to be wanting to do if we can avoid it, because there's an awful lot of load put on our storage if we're going to be migrating VMs. So that's it for this particular video. Hopefully this was helpful for you, and we'll see you next time.